in the morning, and I was back at home at 6 in the afternoon, so I couldn't be here. So this is our presentation. Because it's a little bit general, I want to explain first. We will be talking about how humans make societies and how those societies affect nature, and then how nature affects humans back. Humans 500,000 years ago appeared first on this planet, and humans are not lions. They are not strong enough to survive on their own, so they started making societies. Some very bright person had the idea, so we'll come all together, we'll build our huts nearby, and then we can start protecting our food. And because it was my idea, I will have the biggest hut, and I will tell you what to do. So he became the first leader. This is how the societies were back then, in the early stages of humanity. They started evolving, started inventing things, and they could control the flow of the water, not literally, but they could get water from the rivers and have all the stuff they need. They could grow their food instead of collecting it or hunting. Of course, those were still relevant, but they were not the only source. And that's how they were, the first civilizations were built throughout history. They were not the modern thing we know about civilizations. They were living close with the environment. The environment was their primary source, was what they were working on mainly, and there were little things to do apart from little nature-oriented occupations like farming and hunting, collecting water. Some people were building their houses, and then this is how things started to spread out, and it was no longer one human doing all the jobs. It was divided to different groups of people. This is how the great civilizations of the past were achieved. First was Egypt, a great civilization. If we can see the pyramids, it was really astonishing how they managed to do such things back then without the tools that we have today. We now take it for granted that we can rise a huge building, but back then they had to carry every stone with their bare hands, using just a few tools. We couldn't fit every civilization, but we have some examples: ancient Greece, ancient Rome, and this is the invention of typography. This is a little bit later. When this happened, things started to get really messy. Books started to appear everywhere. People started to drift apart from nature because it now all became about knowledge. With knowledge, power came. They discovered about steam. Steam made it possible for the Industrial Revolution to come around the 17th to 1800s. And with steam, they could do magnificent things. They could create many products in little to no time compared to what it was before. So we see that nature now plays a role only to gaining the things that you need to produce. Otherwise, the food is produced here, the clothes are produced here. Everything is now running from steam. But this comes with an expensive toll. Carbon emits to the environment. We start destroying our planet. Our societies that came with the environment and only exist with it start destroying it. We now can't imagine our benefit not harming the environment. We say this benefits humans, but that's true, because how can humans live without Earth? Now today we can see everything. This has petroleum in it. This too. Petroleum needs heavy industrial compositions. To make this happen, we need to burn carbon again, and then the same cycle repeats. But without it, we can't live. Can you imagine a day where I can't brush off the thing? You can't. Look out to the sea. Can you see just the sea? No, I think I can see. I can see a road. What is the road made of? How does that affect society? Like, why do we have more roads than lands? So today we destroy nature, but what does that cause? Why we destroy nature? So some people here still wear masks. Of course you would. There's a danger to your health. Of course everyone would want to minimize the risk, but there is tons of plastic that pollutes the environment, tons of careless people throwing all their stuff to the ocean, and we try to protect our health, and that's all we try to do right now with carbon. But do we really? In the long run, I think we might actually be more carbon free. This is from a very nice video called Man. It shows how people are not caring about the environment, but they are destroying it. And what can we really do? Well, why do we care? Like, I think I can live very comfortably in this chair and go to my home, sleep in my nice bed made of matrix and made of compromised food and not real food. But is that really benefiting me? Can I only live with artificial stuff? Can I live outside of the planet? No, I don't think I can do that. So if I try to abstain from seeing the nature, what will happen? What will happen to someone who lives in a great city every day of the year and every second of his life? I think I would be depressed. I don't think I can live without trees, without seeing the sea, the sun. I can't live in a box made of artificial things. I can't live in a room full of plastic. I think I would be depressed. So we all do that, like, to a degree. We all live in such fashion. But some people, for us to live like that, are denied of the most basic stuff. They don't have a home, they don't have food or water, and that's all because we pollute the planet and destroy their homes for us to live better. But do we even live better? Because I think people living closer to nature are happier than those who live in the great city. I think going to a trip in a lake, in the forest, in the mountains, in the sea, swimming, I think going to the waterfalls or going to a nice expedition in the nature would make me much happier than go bowling or go to the arcade or anything inside that way city. I think it's irreplaceable, the gift of nature. We are trying to make our lives better and make our home better, but we are denying the heaven that it has been bestowed upon us. Like, there is such beauty to the environment, and we decide to avert our eyes and don't look at the greatness of our lives. Thank you.